An if statement allows for one-way selection structure. So we have another one, if-else statement. If-else can be used to code a two-way selection structure. So in if-else statement, your program have a choice whether to execute as one set of statements or another set of statements. So if we look at this example, if it is raining, take an umbrella, else take a hat. So if you read this statement, you can see that the condition is it raining? If this is true, we take an umbrella, but if this is false, right, else take a hat. So it's either one, either we want to take an umbrella or we take a hat. So this is the flowchart of if-else statement. Okay, so it's a bit different from if. So there's really two pathway now because it's a two-way control structure. So if you look at the flowchart, if the condition is true, we execute statement set 1. If the condition is false, we execute statement set 2. So you cannot execute both set of statements. Your program can only execute either one, depending on the condition. And then after that, you will carry on with the next set of statements in your program. So how do we write this in C programming? What is C++ programming? What is the syntax? So similarly, you have if and the condition, and you put the body of the statement for statement set 1, and now we have else, okay, and you write your statement set 2. So whatever statement for the false condition is after else. All right, so let's read this. If condition is true, statement set 1 is executed and statement set 2 is skipped. Alright, so if condition is true, you execute statement set 1, you skip statement set 2. How about if the condition is false? If the condition is false, statement set 1 is skipped and statement set 2 is executed. So it's the other way around. If the condition is false, which one that we skip? Set 1. The one that we execute is set 2. So let's look at this example. This is a program to determine odd or even number. Okay, this is a famous example for if-else statement. So let's read this flowchart. Start, read A, okay, and then you check. This is a condition, right? You can see the relational operator there. What is it? It's an equal to, because you have double equal. So A modulus 2 equals 0. So what does it mean? You divide A with 2, take the remainder. If the remainder equals 0, then this is true. If the remainder is not 0, then this is false. So what is the true statement? So the true statement, print A is an even number. And if this is false, then print A is an odd number. You can always check a flowchart or when you try to understand a flowchart, give it a number, right? Read A. So let's say A is 5. 5 modulus 2. So 5 divided by 2 is 2, right? Remainder is 1. So 1 equals 0. Is that true or false? That is false, right? 1 is not equals to 0. So this will be print out. 5 is an odd number. So that is true. Okay, 5 is an odd number. if my program print 5 is an even number, then there is something wrong with the program. Okay, so let's look at the C programming, C++ programming. So okay, before I can use A, I need to define A first. Int A, cin A, if A modulus 2 equals 0. So this is my if else statement. That's my condition inside the parentheses. A modulus 2 equals 0. And the true statement goes after if, and then we write else, and the false statement goes after else, and then return 0. So same like before, you don't put semicolon at the end of your parentheses, okay, after your condition. And how about curly brackets? Why is it that we don't have curly brackets? It's because there's only one statement here. So you don't, one statement for if, one statement for else. So you don't need a curly brackets. If you have more statement, then you're gonna need a curly brackets. So if let's look at these two examples, if else statement. So what is the condition here for the first one? Score greater than 60. You want to check for the score. If score greater than 60, we print out you pass. If this is false, means score is less than 60, we want to see out you did not pass. So this is one example of if else statement. And how about this one, the second example? If int rate greater than 0, you want to do the calculation. Interest equals to loan amount times int rate. See out interest. However, if interest rate less than 0, if this is false, then we want to see out you owe no interest. Okay, so why do we have this curly bracket here? Because we want to put more than one statement on when the condition is true. Okay, why does we don't have any curly bracket for else? Because there's only one statement for else. You can put it, it's okay, it's not gonna be an error, but it's unnecessary. Okay, let's look at this example of if else statement. This is an if else statement with errors. Alright, if we run this code, then we would get an error. So why? Because what was the programmer trying to do is, if the condition score less than 70, we want to print out these two statements. Not good enough, you can do better. But if this is false, score greater than 70, then we want to print out this. Nice work, congratulations. So why does this code would have an error if you try to compile it? It's because we have more than one statement, right? For the if part and for the else part. So so what the compiler will see is that you have an if statement, and then you have just a normal cout, and then the compiler would see an else with no if. An else statement should have a matching if. If there's no if for that else, then it would be an error on the program. So here, that's what the compiler would see, else with no matching, without matching if.